Hi, this is Lisa from Local King Rubber Stamp. Welcome to my channel. I can't believe it's almost the end of October. So I remember just not too long ago, I created a video to show you guys how to create this card by using the autumn stamp set, right? So I will put a link below if you like to know how to create these cards. Just make sure you click the link. It will bring to Local King's YouTube channel. At this moment, I have over 300 videos ready to view. And make sure you subscribe to Local King's YouTube channel because I do give a special promotion code for our YouTube viewers when it is available. So today, actually, I'm going to show you how to create this card. But before we start to working on that card, I just want to show you. You know, there's a lot of rubber stamp company on the market, and there's probably millions of images available online now. So what do you think? What is the good stamp? From my personal point of view, I think the good stamp is you can use that stamp to create all different kind of cards. So I use the stamp to create. I use the autumn stamp to create the list card last fall. And I also using the thin stamp to create the slimline card, and this is a kind of see-through shaker card. There's a few leaves there. So that's another project by using the thin stamp. And I have the other one here. And if you take a look at that corner, the koi fish, I also use the same maple leaf stamp to create this one. So take a look. So I will put all the link below if you like to learn particular which card project. Just make sure you click the link. It will bring you to the YouTube channel. The best way is just visit Local King online video library. It's much easier. You click the card you like to learn and it will bring you to the YouTube. So today I am actually want to show you how to create this card. It's like a 3D card. I think October is just around the corner, and I think that's going to be an awesome fall project. Happy fall! Okay, so let's start it. Okay, so today's project is going to be 5.75 by 5.75, but you can do any kind of shape you like. So I use a circle shape, but you can use an oval, you can use a maple leaf shape, you can make a heart shape, any shape you like. And I put these little fox here, and this is a come from or foxy set. So there's a mama and the babies here, so you can put in the middle too, and they also have those little small die cut. So if you don't have the fox, what I will do is you want to make some fall image, you can just make this maple tree and put in the middle too. I think that will looks pretty awesome too. But today the main idea is I want to use this autumn stamp set part of a maple leaf to create this wreath. So if you have the stamp, feel free to use it. If you don't have the stamp, looking for something similar and just pick up an idea and you can create something similar like that. This channel is all about the stamping techniques. So that's started. Okay, when you take a look at this sample card, you're probably thinking, oh my God, that's a lot of coloring, a lot of die cutting. Actually, it's not that complicated you think. It's actually pretty simple. So first of all, we are going to start our foundation card, and for my prototype, I use those Michael's recollection inexpensive card stuff, but I found out it's better that if you can use a watercolor paper. So this is a Canson water paper. I think it's 130 pounds. It's very thick, good quality. And I am going to use the Rubberneckers color fuse impact. You can use any kind of dye-based impact. It will work just fine. I'm going to use Local King's Magic Mushroom. If you have magic mushroom, just remember your magic mushroom have to be very moisture. If you don't have a magic mushroom, you can use a blending tool, you can use a sponge, you can all kind of blending tool, they will work just fine. Okay, so we're going to create some autumn color. If you want to make like a Christmas card, any kind of other thing, like an ocean thing, you can just change the color tone. Okay, so let's do that. So I'm going to do the autumn color. I have yellow, orange, and red. I have 2 green. I have a little bit brown. I think that color will just work fine. Okay, so you can use the memento, but I haven't been at the show floor for a while. My memento impact is kind of dry now, so I'm going to just use these color views. So the magic mushroom, and remember, I kind of just washed it and soaked in the water, but you want your magic mushroom blending well. Make sure they need to have enough water. And then when you touch that magic mushroom, you make sure it's kind of moisture. And then see what's the size. This is a brand new from the box. It got to be a moisture. Like I say, if you don't have a magic mushroom, you can just use blending brushes, makeup sponges, any tool you find is handy, which can do the job. It will work just fine. Okay, so I'm going to apply this whole sheet with the dye-based impact, and let me just grab a piece of paper here. And one more thing about that brand new combo set, the die cut should be arrived these few days, and Local King Robert Stan is actually heading to Edmonton for creative scrapbooking magazines carnival. If you are in the Alberta area, just make sure you click the link below, and hoping we can see you there. This is the only Canadian show that we have, and at the Canadian show floor, we charge the Canadian dollars, so you're going to save a lot of money. And also we have a show special inputs demo inputs make and take, hoping you can make it, and we would love to see you. It has been so long that we attending any show to see our customers. Okay, so remember, when you want to do the blending, you always start with a lighter color first, and then use any kind of blending tool. Don't expecting they will just have a very good coverage in first round. You have to build up your color. So I'm going to just start with yellow, okay, and then I'm going to just draw a little circle here, and then see, because my magic mushroom have a lot of water, and then it's so easy to blend. Okay, so I'm going to start with a little bit yellow, and I'm going to do a little bit orange. Okay, so do a little bit orange, just do a little bit gently. And remember, I have a lot of video to show you guys how to use this magic mushroom. Make sure you use your 2 fingers holding the spongy part, so when you rubbing, and then you have a support of that sponge area. The sponge area is not going to twist like that. So if you keep twisting like that, it will break off. Okay, so I'm going to just do a little bit more, and don't worry about this mark. If you can try to avoid it, that's good. But if we don't, we can come back to fix it. And then this foundation, it doesn't really matter if you get a little bit stroke there, that's okay. So my ink is kind of dry. Let me see if I have a orange color. Okay, I'm going to grab this. Okay, let me just use this orange color. It's kind of a bit dry. So remember, if you want to ink your magic mushroom, always brush the ink. They will work better than you tap the ink. Okay, brush the ink. So just do a little bit here. Okay, and then before, we're going to come back to add a little bit more. So before we add the red, we are actually going to do a little bit green. If your magic mushroom is too wet, it's a good idea that you can just kind of testing a little bit first before you apply on your paper. So brush a little bit, okay, and then they will blending well. Okay, let's give it a little bit green. Okay, that's good. And then I'm going to do a little bit darker green. okay, brush. When you use a darker color, try to start from your scrap paper and then bring the color in. So that way you can avoid that little circle on your cards. So gently blending. Okay, always start from your scrap paper, kind of brush the color, push the color to your paper. Okay, and then remember they need to build it up. So just take your time, kind of gently, and we have to come back to add a little bit more. Okay, and now I am going to do the red color. So make sure my magic mushroom is not too wet. Going to pick out a little bit red and be careful the fingerprint. It doesn't really matter if you get some fingerprint because I'm going to show you, we're going to die cut it, so you can kind of avoid if you get a little bit fingerprint, but just try to avoid it. Okay. Yeah, remember brush instead of tapping. Okay, and then I'm going to just grab this one. This one have a more color and it's very moisture, so I'm going to just brush. Okay, drawing a little circle like this. So that's my basic color, but if you want to your color more like a solid thicker, what you can do is we can go back to repeat the things we just did. Okay, pick out a bit yellow and go over again, so that way you can barely see your paper color. So the second layer is kind of filling the gap. Okay, so just a circle always, and remember how I holding my magic mushroom. Okay, doing the circle, and now we're going to do the orange. Okay, fill the gap. Okay, just repeat the first layer. Okay, and you can find the color is really getting solid. Okay, and then we are going to add a little bit green. Okay, let's do this. Okay, and then the next one, we are going to add a little bit purple. And if you are not sure how to, clean the magic mushroom, make sure you watch the Magic Mushroom 101. I will put the link below. And then, so I just spray some water on my magic mushroom, and I can find out it's a little bit too much color water. So I'm going to just use my dry cloth, kind of pick up some extra color. Okay, and then I'm going to just add a little bit purple here around the corner, or you can add like a magenta. See, this my impact is getting dry. I usually have a re-inker, but I color the Rubbernecker is a color fill. I don't have a re-inker, but my memento I really need to order some re-inkers because they are kind of dry. Okay, so my purple is kind of dry. Let's see if I can have the other purple here. Those Kaleidos color, I have a re-inker, so they just doing a little circle. Okay, so on your cardstock, you want to have some yellow, red, purple, green. Okay, so that's a foundation color. Don't worry about those mark, because we are going to do something and it doesn't really matter those rubbing mark. Okay, let's see. I kind of want to maybe have a little bit more red. Let's see. Yeah, let's go do a little bit more red color. And then drawing the circle is the best way to do the blending. Okay, so that's all foundation color, and I'm going to just put my magic mushroom away. Okay, Now we are going to use the diversifying Clara. You can use any kind of black impact. They will work just fine. So I'm going to grab my stamp here. And I have been using this stamp too many times. So I use this diversifying Clara. They are just a great quality impact. They can go very, very detailed. Okay, so I'm going to just ink my stamp, make sure everywhere is nicely inked, and I'm going to just stamp maybe 4 times. 1, give a nice firm brush. If you are not sure, you can use a stamp positioner. 2, so try to get a little bit orange, a little bit green, a little bit yellow, and a little bit purple. So that way, when we kind of create that wreath, we're going to have all the different color. 2, 3, so I think 4 will do the job. So you can rotate it, your stamp, so that way you can have some green leaf, orange leaf, red leaf. If it's not enough, we can come back to add more. So now we are going to die cut it. So I have my die cut here. Okay, and okay, here's the die cut. So what you can do is you can just put your die cut directly on top, but I'm kind of picky, so I'm going to use my guiding window. Okay, so this is what you're going to do, because the LK die cut is very detailed. They also do the embossing. That's why you probably need a guiding window to helping you line up your image. So what I'm going to do is just use a scrap piece paper. And you can see I cover with the packing tape, and then I'm going to put my die cut on top. Okay, and then just tape it. So the reason I put that piece of packing tape is just preventing, because once when I created this guiding window, I use again. So this packing tape is just preventing this card when I peel off the tape. So this guiding window will stay for. Okay, so after I run through the machine, before I release my die, I actually use a pen to tracing that outline. There is a reason for that, because when I am planning to use this die cut again, and then you can keep this one if you want to. Maybe we will find the use of it. Okay, so now I have this guiding window, right? And then I can put my guiding window on top of this image. Because the LK die cut is really detailed, it doesn't have that wide gap. And then so the cutting line is right next to that image. Okay, so that's why with the guiding window, it definitely helps you to line out your stamp image. Okay, and then just make sure like this. Just line up and then put it back, and make sure when you put back, your die cut is inside that line. And then we are going to run to the machine. I'm going to cut all 4 of the stamp image out. Okay, so I already cut all my 4 detailed maple leaf. And then now what we're going to do is I'm going to grab my die cut. So this die cut, this stamp set comes with 4 die cuts. So I'm going to just use this small one. Or if you want to use a big one, doesn't matter. And then you don't really need a stamp image. So we're going to just cut a few of this maple leaf die cut here. So when I try to create my wreath, I can use those shadow die cut, leaf die cut as a filler. Okay, so I'm going to just put it on top to die cut feel, and then just remember, like here my paper was still wet and I put the tape on top. Just be careful, but when I cut this small leaf, just avoid this area. Okay, so I got all my cutting here. So I cut a few of this is my my paper. Okay, so I cut a few of the detail and I use this maple leaf die cut, just the die cut without the stamp image. And then also I use this detail maple leaf. I just cut some gold mirror cardstock. So the die cut is very detailed. They actually have those kind of textured dotting line. So I think that will looks just awesome. Or you can just cut some green or any color you like. Okay, so next what we're going to do is we are going to create the wreath now. So I have my foundation paper here, and then we are going to, my first sample card, I was using the mirror paper to create this, the ring, but I don't think so that's necessary because you can barely see it. So I'm going to just use a piece of watercolor cardstock left over, and then I have my circle die cut. Okay, so I have my circle die cut here, and then you're going to just choose what's the size of your width, or we're going to go, I think this is my outside line, and that's going to be my inside line. Okay, so this is how we're going to get the perfect circle cut. You are going to cut the larger die cut first. Okay, I'm going to just die cut it. Okay, so you cut the first one first, the large one first, and then now you put the small one. That way you can kind of make sure the small circle is in the middle. So I'm going to die cut it. Okay, so that's how I get my perfect ring here. Let's put this one back. Okay, it doesn't really matter. I just use a little bit thicker cardstock, but just in case, when I put my maple leaf on top, I don't want those white colors showing through, right? So just in case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just use the magic marshal, kind of cover a little bit orange or red as my foundation color. Just gently rub on top. But after you do this, you got to be a bit careful because you got to make sure this color is completely dry before you start to glue your maple leaf on top, because a little bit moisture, the tape is not going to stick. Okay, so we're going to just kind of give it a little bit color, just in case we don't want those white foundation color poke out. Okay, and then now before I start to arrange my leaf, I'm going to use a heat gun to dry this ring. Otherwise, those maple leaf is not going to stick on top of this wet surface. Okay, next, so I make sure my ring is dry, and I found some ribbon. I think that will put a perfect touch-up on top. So I'm going to just put my ring first, and then just use this foam tape, just kind of lifting the ring a little bit. But you do whatever you like. This ring is just give you some idea to keep your maple leaf circle. Okay, so I'm going to just put right in the middle here. Okay, so you can see this leaf background, right? The detail leaf actually have a 5 leaf. So the 2 small one is already fall off. So that's perfect. So I have let's grab this one. Where's this? The small 2 leaves here. This one and this one. And then when I was cutting, I accidentally moved my guiding window, so the die cut actually move a little bit, but that's okay. We're going to just try to put on the bottom. And then the other one, these 3 leaf is kind of stick together, right? So what you can do is you can use your sharp scissor, kind of separate the large one, okay? Or you can just use all 3 together. So that's kind of just a run, and then you can just put on top, try to make a circle as you can. So you're gonna put the big one first, and then use the small one as your filler. So let's do that. And then if sometimes you find out maybe they are not red enough, you can use your magic mushroom, go back to add a little bit more. So I think that's pretty good. That's just put these three first. So this is perfect. Okay, so what I can do is we can just, you can use the double-sided tape or glue, so like this one. And then this one, I want to make it like a 3D, so I can put the two foam tape. Okay. Just try to make as smooth as you can, kind of rotate it, so this way will do better. This way, you can lefting your those kind of ball any direction. Okay, try to keep as smooth as you can. So this one, I'm going to put the one foam tape here, and then this one you kind of rotate it. Okay, that will do. Okay, cool. Okay, and then we can pick up the small one now. Try to kind of just organize it. If you find out this one is too big, you can trimming again. Use the small leaf and the big one too. So this one, I'm going to do that. So it looks like a lot of cutting, but actually it's not. So I'm going to do this. Some of them is doesn't need the foam tape. Some of them you can put foam tape. So that makes this width more like a 3D. Okay, and then now we're going to just put the small one. Okay, like here. Okay. Put it on top, pick up the ribbon. Okay, there, and I have a more. So that's working on the color one first, and then we will come back to add that gold one. Here, which one? Here's good. And one more small one. So 4 is enough, absolutely enough. And then I have some green one. So try to separate the color. If your foundation is green, you put kind of brown or orange on top to try to separate. Don't put all the green together. So here, see, like this green on the red, it just pop out, right? Let's put all the detail first. Try to stay as a circle as you can, and then rotate it different direction. Okay, that's a pretty circle already. And let's do one more here. Okay, there you go. Okay, and remember I have a few of the gold color too, right? The mirror paper, I think that's at the perfect touch up. So I'm going to continue. Just try to stay a circle as you can. That's the trick. And then rotate your gold leaf, your maple leaf, different kind of direction. Otherwise, if all your leaf is like a point the same direction, that's going to be so boring, right? So let's do this and put the sun under my ribbon here. So like here. Okay, and I still have a few more small leaves. You don't have to use all of them. You can save it for the other project. Okay, like this one. Okay. And then remember, we have a few of the die cut, just a plain leaf. We doesn't have a stamp image. So we can kind of just insert, try to find a place to insert that leaf to add a little bit touch up. You can use a glue too. Try to use a glue. Okay, just to try to find the spot. And then because I put that ring with a foam tape, so you can kind of just put a little bit tape on. Let me just use my glue, it's easier. So we can just do a little bit glue. Okay, and then find the spot to insert. Like if your maple leaf is red, so you can insert a little bit green there. Just try to separate them. Don't put all the same color, the same spot. Okay, let's do that. It's actually pretty busy here already. Let me see if I can tuck this one in. I want to put my fox there, so maybe, oh, here is good. Okay, so I'm going to just put a little bit in the back. So this maple leaf, I think, is a great set to create all different kind of car, and then when you change the color, they change the looking. Okay, and also the fox, I'm going to put the fox in the middle. They also come with this small acorn mushroom. If you want to, you can decorate a little bit, but I think that maple looks pretty awesome already, so I'm going to just save my little acorn for the next time. Okay, let's see, do I need this one or not? If you want to, you can just put a little bit glue in the back and then just tuck in. So it's all about the idea, right? So let's do that. I think that's pretty busy already. Okay, so you can see I still have a few of the leaf. You can put it inside or do the other, anything you like, or we can put our fox first and then we can do something. Okay, so I just found out my background is a little bit too black, so what I'm going to do is I have this Angelina fabric. Okay, I'm going to just pick up a little bit, make his home a little bit comfortable, and then kind of just tuck in. You don't really need the glue or anything, kind of just push under that ring. It will stay there. Okay, you don't really need the glue. Okay, just a little bit there. If it's too much, you can use your tweezer, pick up a little bit extra, and kind of push into the other side. Kind of just make a little bit bling bling, and those Angelina fabric is just so pretty. Okay, that's good. They will stay. Those paper will holding those Angelina fabric, so just try to push in. Okay, let's find the right spot to push, just tuck in, and then it will stay there. Here you go. One of my maple leaf is fall, so let's just fix it. Put these. Okay, and then now you can put this maple tree in the middle, or you can put a turkey in the middle, anything you like. So that's just I'm going to just put this little fox here. So I think that's good. I'm going to just put the 2 or 3 foam tape, and then as long as they can hold it, that's good enough. So let's do this, shuffle in here. My little fox looks very comfortable there. And then I have at least a happy fall we can just put here. So that's another project to share with you what you can do with this autumn stamp set. A good stamp set is that you can use the stamp set, create all different kind of project. I think that's all about the rubber stamp. Okay, so that's today's video. Is a pretty fall looking finish, isn't it? So remember, September 24th and 25th, Local King Rubber Stamp will be at Edmonton, Alberta, and we have a show special. We have an in boots make and take. We have a in boots demo, and for our Canadian customer, this is going to be Canadian price. But for our international customer, don't worry. During the time we are having the show in Edmonton, I am going to offer 25% off the whole store, and for the 23, 24, 25th, and 26th 4-day sale. So take the opportunity if you like this stamp set, and I think it's 25% off is pretty good discount. You don't need any coupon code, anything. The whole store is going to be 25% off from 23rd to 26th. Okay, so this is Elisa from Local King Rubber Stamp. Thank you so much. See you next time. Goodbye.